What's up, everybody? Dead Girl here. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day, happy middle of the week. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week so far. We're almost to Friday, so just hang on, couple more days. Quickly, before we start tonight's show, want to give a big shout out and huge thank you to Midnight Syndicate for allowing us to use their music for our intro and outro. The song that you hear is called Born of the Night off of their Born of the Night album. It is one of my absolute favorites, so big shout out and thank you to them for allowing us to use their music. Check them out. It's www.midnightsyndicate.com. They've got a new album coming out that's available for pre-sale, so make sure that you head on over there and jump on that before it's too late. Let's get to our guests tonight, shall we? Joining me this evening, we have Billy and Karen. They are the co-owners and founders of local South Florida haunt, Enigma Haunt. Welcome, you guys.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing good in Florida.
Are you guys ready? Are you ready for Halloween?
We are getting there.
Are you ever ready when you own a haunt to open?
There's always something else.
Yes, you're always almost there. I think is kind of the way it goes. You're as ready as you can be, but there's always something else that you can tweak as the run goes.
Yes, in some of those things that you want to tweak, nobody's even going to know that it wasn't supposed to be there or it was supposed to be there. So.
It's those things that you know. So because you know, it's like it's got to get done. I don't care if Joe Schmo coming through knows, but I know it. So for me, I'm doing it.
Exactly.
Now, is it true that you guys started out as a home haunt?
We did. Probably did a home haunt for, I don't know how many years. But we have 4 children. So it started out as just something really small in the garage that we'd, when the trick-or-treaters came over to get candy, we'd just we'd have one of the kids jump out and scare them. Or I think we had like an alien autopsy, like on a table the first year. Yeah. And actually we still have that alien, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so then every year it just got, because he's a fanatic, so he had to go bigger because you got to go bigger, right? Yes. Every year. So every year it just got bigger and bigger, and then the kids got older, so then not only they were acting in it, but they would bring their neighborhood friends, and it just got it got too big for the house. I mean, like literally way too big for the house. He was starting to drill into our banister, and I was like, that's it. But we did outside and inside, the path and everything, building walls outside. We had a pool, and we used to utilize the pool for it. But yeah, it got too much for the house. And we had talked about it a couple of years prior, just to, do we want to do this? So we started attending a lot of conventions, did a lot of seminars, took a lot of classes.
Transworld was the main one. I mean, that's been the biggest thing with Transworld, and we literally went there for 2 years beforehand, taking every class and the safety courses and understanding to keep this industry as safe as it was, and the education that was involved in it. And we did that for, like I said, 2 years, right, beforehand.
About a year and a half, 2 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there were actual I understand there's like classes and things like that, and it makes me happy to know that they actually have like safety courses and things like that you can take, because a lot of people don't. Owners obviously take it into consideration, but there's some, like Joe Schmo doesn't realize the safety aspect of running a haunt.
Well, and that's a big thing too. So I'm on the board of directors of the Haunted Attraction Association and every haunt has to really realize, and that's what we learned early on, is that we're all interconnected, right, in this industry.
Yeah.
And that a tragedy or an event or something that happens at one haunt will literally affect the whole industry, either from insurance rates, either from everything that goes on to it. So we're all interconnected, and safety is the main driver.
Yeah.
And these conventions that are teaching and having these experts come in and teaching you how to do it, and the fireproofing and the things that you can do associated with it was we gravitated towards that right away.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fantastic. Now, with moving from your home into an actual building for your haunt, was that a decision that you guys made? Or, like, I've heard stories of other haunts starting as a home haunt and then the county coming in and being like, it's too many people, you can't do that anymore. Or was that something that you guys decided to do before, the city stepped in?
We probably could have been still doing our home haunt if it didn't get too big. It was definitely our decision. Yeah. Now, although we did have a lot of, I think our last year was over 500 people in one night.
Wow.
Yeah.
We did too.
And we did it 2 nights.
We were trying to do it for
year.
2 nights before that. It just got too much. But you bring up a good point with the city and everything. Is that we knew from our training and everything we'd learned and stuff like that. So we contacted way ahead of time the city and said, here's what we want to do.
Right.
And you involve the fire marshal and the things early on. Trying to do it underneath the guys and then open up will cause a lot of problems at the end of it. And we had everything that they asked for, we did. And it was just that intense to say, we weren't going to come back, and we're going to accept everything and go through it to open the haunt in your city. It's their city, it's their rules, it's their things. You cannot go the other way and try and say, but this is what other people do, or this is what happens up in a different state, or this is your fire marshal controls your event.
Right. They're essentially, they're in charge in a way. Because as you put it, it's their rules, and you have to play that game. I don't mean to word it as a game, but it almost is. You have to play, their rules.
Like that, because trust me when I say,
Well, but it's they're listen, and they're doing it for the safety and everything it is, and 100% agree.
Yes.
We had fun with them, and we got to know them, and they have been nothing but great with us.
Oh God, yeah.
And the things that they actually said to us, and a lot of things that we did that we invested money into, were good ideas and things that have helped us through the last decade to be able to do that. It can't be combative, and it was never combative with us. It was amusing at points and stuff like that, and they enjoyed it. And the fire marshal used to come through, remember, and he'd be going, "You got to do this," and he'd go, "Cha-ching," and I were like, "We're doing it."
The first couple years.
Yeah. So it's good.
After the second year, firefighter
Now, with moving into the space that you guys are in now, well, first of all, for folks that don't know, where are you guys actually located?
We're located Boca Raton, 1751 North Military Trail in Boca.
Nice. And do you guys have on-site parking, or is there parking nearby? Because I imagine now that you have your own building, you're probably doing, big numbers over the season.
Yes, and there is on-site parking.
Oh,
and it's not our own building. We do still lease it. It's an old Bally's gym, which Bally's when I'm not sure what year, 2009 or 10, they closed down a lot of the facilities. This one came available. Nobody was doing anything with it. We worked on it. We eyed it up for a year before we negotiated with the new owners on it, and so we've been leasing it for the last decade.
Oh wow! So you guys have been in there for quite a long time then.
Yeah.
Have you thought about possibly switching the location? Or are you guys comfortable with being at that spot for now?
You always think about things like that.
But as you know from being down here, is that we're in a different, not only demographic, not only from environment, but also from real estate, right? So you can find an old barn, you can find an old warehouse in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and these places that are out here. They don't exist in South Florida.
No, they don't.
They're swooped up. They're taken right away. Have we always thought? Have we looked every year? Everything that's going on? Absolutely. And it's tiring, but the prices, especially right now and nowadays, real estate market, they're not as interested into a seasonal event.
Right.
They're they'll hold out. And you can say, well, it'll help for a couple months, or we'll be able to do this, and they'll hold out for the big money at some point, whether it's a developer or something that comes through. So for a decade, every year we've been looking for new places, and it's very difficult.
Yeah, well, I can imagine too, and I mean not to put that out there, but South Florida is not cheap. Like, it's expensive down there, and I don't think folks realize that, from a renting standpoint or even a buying standpoint, especially in today's market. It's tough, man.
Well, you hit on a key point too, so let's take that expense part and move it into advertising, marketing, things that occur on those aspects. People up north can get 10 billboards or something for $10,000, or those things that occur, but that doesn't, as you know, I-95 going down there, to put one billboard on that place is $11,000 for one billboard. It's
crazy.
Yeah, so our cost per person on advertising is a lot different than the economics of a lot of the northern haunts.
Right. And I think a lot of people too, when they think of Florida haunts, they automatically go to like the big theme park haunts. And some people don't even realize that there's other haunts out there, such as you guys in South Florida. I mean, it's huge for folks, especially that are local, to come out and to support their local haunts. They're family-owned businesses. As you guys said, you guys have been doing this for years with your family, which that makes my heart so happy. But, I think that people tend to forget, like, just how amazing a local haunt is and how much more fun they can be in the experience that you get, because you get those good scares and you're not tethered to certain things. Like, you can go a little heavy on the gore if you choose to.
And like you said, it's the passion. I think the family owned, or even the local, they have a lot more passion for this industry, and so they put that into the haunt.
Absolutely. Now, you guys, I know you guys employ quite a bit of actors. On average, what would you say? How many haunt actors do you guys have in there?
On any given year in the last 5 years, probably like 60 to 80 actors.
Wow.
Or maybe even more than that, but it's not on any given night.
Right.
So, because some actors can't, do a scare every single night. So it kind of goes, but usually on any given night, it's between 40 to 60 actors.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
But you guys also have 3 trails, correct?
We have houses, so
we're all indoors.
Yeah, all indoors.
All indoors. So in the Valley Gym. So we have 3 haunts that are inside the Valley Gym that doesn't even resemble a Valley Gym anymore, obviously.
No.
I mean, for some people, a Valley's Gym would be scary. I'm just going to put that out there.
Exactly. There's nothing left there that's Valley's Gym. But they have 3 distinct themes and stuff that's on that for people to go through.
That's awesome. And I mean, I think I was reading on the website, it's something about, 20,000 square foot you guys have to work with?
That's about right. Yeah.
Wow. So how long does it take the average, Jane Doe to walk through one of the houses?
So it depends on what kind of person you are. If you like haunted houses, then you know what I'm talking about. There's some people that will literally run through it in 30 minutes. They'll be out, gone, because they're so scared. But then you have the people that want to stop and look because they like the detail, and we pride ourselves on the detail in our haunt.
Yeah, our
That's
designer,
a huge thing.
Yeah, our designer Freddie Hernandez. I haven't seen anything in the industry that's better on it.
But so you have those people. So that you have really, really, really slow people that love to look at everything. Then you have the really, really, really fast people. But on the average, it probably takes about 45 minutes to an hour to go through all 3 haunts.
Oh, wow. I'm one of the slow people for sure. I like the detail. I appreciate it. I appreciate, the set detail. I appreciate what goes into creating those. I also appreciate, the actors and what goes into bringing them and their characters to life as well. Because it's just, everything about it to me is just amazing, and it's such a fun thing
we
to
like
see.
you because of your appreciation of it. The actors hate you.
Yeah, because I'm the type of person that the actors can be like, "Rah," and I'm just like, that's great, and they're like, no, just go. I'm done with you. I don't try to be that person. Like, I enjoy when I don't get scared often, but when I do, it makes me so happy because I'm like, thank you, number one. It's an amazing experience, but it's that nice adrenaline rush that you get when you get that good scare.
Yes, it is.
And we pride ourselves on the actor interaction. It's like you use the word raw. We don't use that.
I didn't mean literal raw.
In some of our trainings, we don't say boo and we don't say raw, and we don't say get out.
Yeah, it's nice. So that's one thing that we pride ourselves on. We have a very light mix of animatronics to our actors and our actor coordinator, and Jonathan Glickman and David Grecius are phenomenal in creating really dialogue and things and action and stuff behind it. So we don't over embellish on the animatronics. We have them in key areas, which may be to
distract
you.
Perfect.
And then the actors are taking over that scene. We very rarely have an animatronic becomes the scene.
Right.
Which I love. I love when it's used as a distraction. So you've got, that actor ready and just kind of waiting for that one thing to go off where they know, okay, it's time. Now, I saw on your social media, you guys are looking for people. So I know you're looking for actors. I read that you guys were also looking for makeup artists. What all are you guys hiring for currently, that if someone is in South Florida and they're looking to, to participate or they want to join you guys, like, what are you looking for?
So up until the day we open, where anybody can, so we have what's called the Haunt Scheduler. They can sign up and register. So you have a registration page,
nice.
And then we get back to you, and it asks all the questions, whether you want to sign up to be an actor, security, front desk, ticketing, makeup artist, whatever it is. You can find that at either on Facebook or the website. There's actually links on both. Or you can email actors at Enigma Haunt, info@Enigma Haunt. There's like anything with Enigma Haunt you can get to. How do I become whatever I want to become there?
And the process after that is determined on, we have auditions and we have background checks.
Right.
And we go through the process and all those aspects of it. So,
yeah.
Nice. So
our casting calls, by the way, are in, I think 2 weeks, by the way.
Okay.
So another 2 weeks we're having our first set of casting calls.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing. They would email or reach out to you guys to the website in order to be invited, so to speak, to the casting call to show you what they got.
Yes.
Awesome. And just to kind of pop that website up for those of you that may be interested in that is enigmahaunt.com. Also, make sure you're following them on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on all the social medias, because you guys are really great about updating all of your information and kind of keeping everybody in the loop. So thank you for that. It's always nice to see it. It's exciting whenever, like, you guys post something with your updates, because I'm like, oh, it's getting close. It's getting to be that time.
Yeah, it starts to heat up, right? Those are the things, and we've learned over a period of time, and especially, again, this is where it changes with South Florida, that trying to do stuff too early, it's hotter than heck down here.
Yes.
And people aren't interested until the seasons really start to kick in. And unfortunately, we don't have the corn, the pumpkins changing, the leaves and stuff like that. So,
we don't get like the good old fashioned northern fall. We just get we get slightly less hot. That's about it. So I think usually about August-ish is when most folks start to kind of think more about, Halloween, mid to late August even. Now I know you guys are also looking for some makeup artists. How many makeup artists do you guys usually staff?
We usually have 6 to 8 paid makeup artists.
Nice.
But we also have interns. So people that want to come in and learn. So yeah, because we have to get, like I said, between those 40 to 60 actors every night, we have to get them in makeup and costume in 2 hours.
Yeah, and that's a lot of folks too.
That's a lot. That's a lot to do. Yes.
Well, it's great that you guys have a team. That you guys have your paid artists, then you've got the interns in there that are willing to learn, and I think that's fantastic. A lot of people don't like to teach as they're going, so I think it's great that you guys have that out there for people.
Right. Well.
Yeah, but I mean, and Katie and Tori have done a great job of integrating people.
And so, with the learning process as far as interns, so because they have, after all the auditions, they have classes even for the paid makeup artists. So they start, they've already started. Actually, they started last month, and they have like once a week they'll, have everybody come in and they do. Whether it's a video or just, the lead makeup artist showing them how to do stuff. And so everybody's practicing. So everybody's learning the whole time. And they actually love it. They love doing it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Now, do you guys I have to ask this question because some people use them and some people don't. Do you guys prefer to go with the actual makeup, or do you guys also use masks and stuff?
We do both.
Okay.
Yeah, there's certain areas that you want it. Given Florida's temperature, some of the full silicone masks can be tough.
Yes.
Our Q line, we try and do very real the makeup rather than any mask.
Yeah.
Certain areas you want some of the fantastic, silicone masks or some of the other masks that have occurred on it for a specific scare, but we rely on them heavily. And
We do. And it also depends on where they're placed too.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, if they're in Q line, you want something that's gonna, definitely be the detailed and makeup. But if it's a great mask, then you can also go that route. But where they're placed is a big thing.
And how many actors do you guys normally have out in the Q line?
That would depend on how many actors we have that night.
Gotcha.
But
and it depends on the night.
Yes, right? And it depends on the night because Sundays and Thursdays obviously aren't as busy as a Friday and Saturday,
right,
or Halloween night. But usually 3 to 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love when haunts do that, when they bring out those actors so they help to kind of entertain you while you're standing there waiting for your turn to go in and to to see the house and to get your scares. So it's always nice to have that special little surprise of having that actor come out to torment you a little bit.
Yes.
Now, you guys have 3 different houses this year. If you don't mind, can we talk about them a little bit?
Sure.
So let's see here. The first one is Cursed. So what is the theming behind Cursed? I couldn't find much. Do a little bit of digging on the website there. What can folks expect from that type of house?
Cursed is more. We tried to base it on a loose voodoo
priestess kind of thing.
Yeah,
Nice.
Voodoo priestess. The olden era shacks, maybe a little bit of redneck into it, tying it together with the South Florida aspect of it, and to try and really say it's a 100% theme it's themed throughout the whole thing, right? And you're going to be in there, and the signs that we do, and the characters, and the makeup and the outfits. That's what's really tying it together.
Yeah.
As far as a dialogue or something, it's we tie that in based upon what it's going to be as well.
Okay, fantastic. And let's see, you've got a couple more. You have your Twisted Mayhem. So this is another one.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
This is always the one that we've always hesitated on talking to people about, because as you'll understand, obviously, is that this was always heavily clown oriented, and we know that we chase a lot of people away, and they're like, "You have clowns," and we're like, "No," and then they come in and they're like, "You suck,"
There are people that won't come in because there are clowns.
But it's mayhem, and it's
complete mayhem.
Yeah, it's
chaotic. Yeah.
And it's really interesting and eye-catching, and the things that are on it, and the makeup and the costumes.
And the detail in that one, if you're a detail person, you would love the design.
The design aspect of it, and what we've done with that is interesting. And the heavy details upstairs.
Yeah.
Nice. I never understood the clown fear. I still don't. I really try to wrap my head around it. I don't get it. I don't.
We never have either, but it's we've always tried to keep it a secret.
Okay, so there's no clowns in that house whatsoever.
Exactly.
Always do.
Just it's safe from the clowns, guys. That's gonna be the one.
That's a funny question. You always get those people. Is it scary?
I mean,
really? Like, seriously? I'm like, no, it's rainbows and unicorns.
It's fine. There's a puppy in there. It's fine. It's fine. Now, the last thing that you guys have is the Realms of Terror.
Realms of Terror. So describe that. So we, in our business plan, which is an important part for anybody looking to start.
That was our first haunt, by the way.
Exactly. It was our first haunt. It was upstairs. It was, 9,000 square feet. And that's the only thing we started with. And then we knew which year we would expand into each 5,000 square foot thing below. And we started it one year with an entrance going in a certain direction. And we made it into, as it says, realms where we could change the theming multiple times throughout it. So the Realms of Terror has no theme other than each individual area. This year we've probably got 5 individual areas. Certain years we've had 7.
Nice.
So it's like going through like 5 or 7 mini haunts.
Nice.
All upstairs. That's the biggest one.
Exactly. And then and each time you transfer from one, we tried to make it like almost going through like a portal, that each time you transfer into another realm, it could be sci-fi, and then the next one you enter another time zone and you go into zombies, and then you enter through another time zone and you go into. So it always gave us the ability upstairs, to continuously change and add as many different things we want to, instead of changing the whole haunt into zombies or changing the whole haunt into this. We can always pick up on anything that was going on with it, and it's always been, and that's why we actually built it first year, and what is now our end was actually our beginning, and we built it so it could be reversed. And so it is the premiere. At the end of it, you're going through the longest part after you've been beat up for the first 2 haunts. You're going through the third and the longest, and that's a constant in your face, nonstop.
Yeah. And it's nice too that you have the ability to change it up like that each year, too, so that it's not the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't get stale. So that every time, like if I went last year and then I come back this year, like, oh, it's something different. There's something new happening. So it also gives that reason for folks to, to come back and to
that
revisit.
That rotation factor is important. Listen, when you have a 20,000 square foot haunt, no one changes all of it, right?
Right.
But that was a big point that you just brought up. Exactly what you said is that we could change 3 of the areas upstairs, 1 of the areas downstairs, every year, and continually rotate and change the next 3 and change this. And so every year you were coming back, you got a different experience every year.
Yeah.
See, I think that's huge. I mean, that makes me happy from the patron standpoint, of course, because that gives me that desire to come back to see, what's been moved around and what's a little bit different. So I can appreciate that you guys do that. And I'm sure, other, fans of yours and people that like to do independent haunts, that they appreciate that and they enjoy that, and it makes them want to come back.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Listen, come back, people. Just come back. Now, you guys have you've released your dates for this year, so let's pop these up here. So if you're like me and you like to plan your haunt season, which first of all you should have been doing that weeks ago, but hey, get on that now. You guys are open. I've got here October 1st through October 31st, select nights. So it looks like Fridays and Saturdays, of course. You've got some Sundays and some Thursdays in there as well. What made you guys decide to also open up for Thursdays and Sundays? Because I know a lot of haunts strictly do Fridays and Saturdays.
I don't think that since day one, we've always opened up on Sundays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
I think any haunt we've ever been to does.
Oh, nice.
The larger ones.
Yeah, the larger ones. Yeah, it wasn't since day one. We've always done that. We don't do it in the very beginning. Like the first weekend, we're only open Friday and Saturday.
Right.
So it's mainly toward, and that's another thing with our being in Florida is that haunts up north, like Halloween is their slowest night.
Yeah.
Halloween is our busiest night. So when it gets closer, that's when we start opening up on more days. Thursdays, Sundays, and stuff.
We tried to open in September, like a lot of haunts up north do, as you know. They try to open the last couple weekends, and Florida's just not into it yet.
Yeah.
And given the limited number of haunts in South Florida, remember up north, if I forget the ratios are in Indiana and stuff, but there's at least one haunt within every 15 miles of any other haunt. And down here it's not like that. So what happens is you're marketing, right?
Yeah.
So we've got great friends at Fright Nights that are up there, and they're 30 minutes, 35 minutes away from us. But we're the major haunt south of literally Orlando.
Yes.
And so all the advertising comes down to 2 haunts instead of 20 haunts.
Right.
Where the word is out. Everybody has a billboard. Every different haunt is out there. Everybody's hearing about it. And it's the two of us trying to manage and make the populace aware of everything that's going on. So you're not reaching as deep in the marketing effort as you do. And even as we said earlier, we're spending more to market that, so it becomes difficult. So there is a barrier down here that's tough, and you grow more almost by word of mouth.
Yeah. And
things that are occurring. That's a tough part.
But I mean, and that's one of the huge things too. And a lot of people, I think nowadays with social media, it helps as far as word of mouth goes, because now I can go on, I can like your page, I can follow you, I can share it, I can tell all my friends, somebody would see it that maybe wouldn't see it while driving down the road on a billboard or, on the side of a bus somewhere, just as an example. So now that you've got that ability as far as the internet goes, it's basically free advertising, and word of mouth through that is huge nowadays.
Yeah.
It is to a point, because remember, as you're talking through social media, that you're connecting with like people and things that are along the same page. And again, South Florida is a little different on it. It does, we've gotten bigger responses from like our TV commercials and things like this, where people are like, "Oh, I saw you on TV, didn't even know you're here," and they're literally 4 blocks away from where our haunt is for 10 days. Like, I saw you on TV.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's tough.
And in the back of your mind, you're like, you've driven by my building daily, every day. Now, do you guys, for your ticket pricing, do you guys normally charge for each individual house, or do you guys do a bundle where you charge one price for all 3?
So we've switched throughout the years. We used to, or we did at one time do we do it all 3. Then we did just the Realms of Terror or all 3. This year it's all 3. It's just going to be one price.
Nice.
The amount, so it came down to, listen, we used to do, like she said, just the Realms of Terror upstairs that had the big one. So we had pathways where they could just go up there. They missed the 2 downstairs haunts. But in listening and seeing everything that's occurring with the feedback and ticket sales generally, we're less than 5% would buy one ticket, and it was
that's the thing. And even the people that did just buy the Realms of Terror would come back downstairs and say, I want to go through the other.
And we'd allow them to upgrade. And so
then they'd upgrade. So we sold too many of those. So this year, we're just doing
it was a complication. Everybody wants to go through. And
yeah. I mean, if I'm going out there and I know you guys have 3 houses, I'm going through all 3 of them. I'm not just going to do one. I want to experience all of it because it's great to do the one, but I also want to see, the creativity behind the other houses. And I'm there to enjoy it.
The funny part is when we would take people from the queue line to go into just the one house, they'd have to walk past a long hallway that housed the 5,000 square feet, and they would just hear screams and everything coming out, and they're going, "What's going on?" We're going, "You missed the 2 haunts, you don't get to go there." And they're like, "How about this one?" "No, you don't get to go there. You go here." And they're like, "Ah."
Now, how is it? And because I haven't been to you guys yet, I'm going to change that this year. Do you guys have it set up to where you've got everybody kind of like in a row? So folks start at this house, then they go to this one, and then they go to that one? Or do you allow people to kind of pick and choose which ones they want to do first?
Yeah. The first one, directly.
Well, and actually, I'm not sure what she's saying is that there is no, so the first 2 houses downstairs. So if you're in the queue line and you're going through the first haunt, we're immediately rolling the people in. We may space you out for a minute or 2 to make sure that the people that bunched, to give you that unique experience that you say that you love and everybody does and you don't get at certain places. And we'll send you through the second haunt. And then before the third haunt, we do have another little staging area that's literally shouldn't be more than 5 minutes in there before you go up to the big one that's the same size as the 2 down there. So we can space people, make sure that they're getting the individual attention and stuff that's in between everything on it. Yeah. So it's a pretty quick thing, and I like our third. I mean our indoor queue line, which is so short and long, because listen to the people that went through the first 2 to sit there and go, "Oh my God, this and that," and we're like, "You ready?" And they're like, "Oh," and they go through one that's at least double the time of the 2, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, I personally enjoy listening to people be terrorized as I'm waiting for a haunt. Nothing makes me happier than to hear people screaming, because then I'm like, oh, yay, I get to do this now. I get to see what those screams are for. And that's probably one of my favorite things about going through like any haunt, is listening to everybody freak out. Now you guys have also done a RIP priority pass. Are you guys doing that again this year as well?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, we are.
Okay. And what does that pass entail for those that may be curious?
Let's use the Orlando language. It's a fast pass.
Okay.
It's a fast pass. That's all it is. Let's use that language.
It's a fast pass, but in that fast time, so there's sometimes maybe a little bit of a line for the RIP pass. Like, top 5 minutes. Yeah. But you're getting more. We have the queue line actor in there. You're getting more of an individual kind of attention.
Okay.
As opposed to outside at the regular queue line. But yes, it's definitely on a Friday and Saturday going to get you in a lot faster.
I was gonna say those are usually those top nights that everybody's like looking for something to do, and those, especially in October, the first things that pop into folks' minds. Well, let's go to a haunted house. It's Friday night. Let's go. So that RAP priority pass or fast pass, is we Orlando folk like to say, is definitely gonna be worth doing that. Now, when do your guys' tickets actually go on sale? Because I don't believe they're on sale yet. Correct?
So we have discounted pre-sale tickets.
Nice.
I think it goes on September 17th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna online only.
Okay.
But then that's a discount from
$30 to $35 to $25.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. It goes, and that's from the 17th of September to the 30th of September. So anybody that's pre-ordering, go out there. Everything will be online. Take your day and go.
Oh, that's perfect. Now, are you guys requiring folks to bring like their printout with them when they purchase them, or can they show you on their phone?
Phone. They can show us on their phone.
Both. Yeah, either one works.
Oh, perfect.
And if your printer is running out of ink, please, for the love of God, don't bring in something with 4 hieroglyphic lines.
Oh, so you've had this problem before. I'm assuming experience speaking. Oh, goodness. That's why, again, the cell phone is great, because you don't have to worry about your printer, and it's right there at your fingertips.
Yep.
Now, you guys had previously, I know in the past you guys have worked with some local charities. Are you guys going to be doing that again this year?
We do every year.
Nice.
We did last year, not last year because we weren't open, but the year before. Don't Be a Monster. So we'll probably work with them again.
Do you want to explain it?
Yes.
Don't Be a Monster is an anti-bullying campaign.
October in the United States, is an anti-bullying in high school and grade schools and things like that.
Mostly middle schools and high schools, yeah. But it's pretty big. They have people that go out to schools and give speeches, and they have their icon monster, Don't Be a Monster person and stuff. But it's a good cause. It's a really good cause.
But then we like the animals,
and we like the locals. So sometimes even we have that one big one that we donate to every year, but we like the locals. So we'll have nights where like on a Sunday night, bring in something we're big animal lovers, so animal shelters are big. But bring in something for an animal that they put on their list that they need, and you get $5 off.
We've done Boca Helping Hands too as well.
And Boca Helping Hands we've done.
Nice.
But local is always good. Yes.
That's awesome. So I'm assuming you guys will advertise that on social media when you're doing those nights. Absolutely. So that if folks want to donate or bring something, they can go ahead and do so.
Absolutely.
Nice. And can people just show up and drop stuff off and not even go through the haunt?
During our opening hours, they could.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, obviously not when you're closed, but if you guys are during your operating hours, and like, if I wanted to come bring in something for, for the animals, but I didn't want to go through, can I go ahead and bring in a donation to you guys?
Absolutely, but don't think that we're not going to try and talk you into going through.
We did the drive during Dorian, the hurricanes and stuff like that, where we were doing food drives.
Oh yeah, we did that too.
No, I love that. I love that you guys are very much into giving back to the community. I think that that's important, and a lot of people lose sight of that. So I think that that's a fantastic thing that you guys are doing that. Now, do you guys have, as far as the haunt goes, let's kind of backpedal to that one. Do you guys have an age limit that you just are like, listen, your 3-year-old's not doing it? Or do you guys just kind of welcome if the parent's cool with it? You're just like, well, he's sleeping with you tonight, not my bed.
Here's the thing. We have on our website, on all our social media, that we recommend 12.
Okay.
We will not tell you that you can't, because we have had kids 5, 6, 7 that go through that. I mean, they love it.
Aww.
But we've also had.
And they come out and they're like, thumbs up.
We also have
Nice.
grown-ass adults that literally pee themselves.
Those are the best.
Or they chicken out and they can't make it through the haunt. So and here's the thing too is, we have 4 children. They grew up with this. They love haunted houses. So when they were younger too, except for our youngest one, never liked it.
But he also became one of our best actors.
But he also became one of our best actors. Exactly.
Nice.
So we won't. The only thing we do is we make sure to tell them, listen, we have the right that if your kid is literally, because we've had to do this before, like screaming and crying, because I hate to say it, but there's a lot of parents that will literally drag their kids through it, even if they are. We have the right to remove both of you, and that's it. That's the end of it.
We're not traumatized.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not.
Right.
And we've always, since day one, and it was funny you said earlier on the gore and some of the things, we've never been heavy gore people. And we've never, there's no sexual content. There is nothing on that. We've made this. Okay. It started with our family. It started with our kids acting, and we've always done that. Yeah. I know it's getting in vogue to the touch. We're a non-touch haunt. We just don't do it.
There's a lot of issues with that anyway, so I think that's smart not going the touch route, to be honest.
Yeah, and we just haven't done it.
Don't blame you. I wouldn't either. Now I know you guys unfortunately were closed last year because pandemic and the world is crazy, and Florida is its own beast of things. Are you guys making any type of adjustments or doing anything like that with the way that the current state is with Florida? Are you guys adding any particular safety measures or recommending anything?
We were prepared.
We are. We actually started because we didn't know until like maybe a few months before that we weren't going to open last year. We made a very
September. Yeah, we announced in September. I mean,
it was a difficult decision, but we decided that was the best thing. But in the meantime, we were preparing to open.
Our team had done. We had put plexiglass in. We had put things in that were required then, and it got pretty heavy.
We took some stuff down. We put some other stuff up where for the barriers between
the claustrophobia and things like this that people are a heavy touch. Given the Delta variant though, right now we're keeping a lot of those things down just to protect the public. It's a little different. I mean, there's very few people that say I've never heard of COVID, right?
Right. At this point, yeah.
Right. So we're keeping some, but we don't want to ruin what our show is known for, is the interaction that things are on that. We mask people, we have the stuff, absolutely. But the interaction is what's going to be important, and in certain areas where there's too much, we will keep plexiglass, we will keep things on it, and it's
No, I think it's smart. I think it's good that you're keeping an eye on things and taking those things into consideration and making adjustments where you need to. I think it's what's going to help, A, keep people safe, and then B, make you guys even more successful. I think because some folks like to feel like they like to feel safe. So if you've got certain areas where it's high touch and you're taking those aspects away, I think it'll also help to make people feel more comfortable and be more apt to come out and to get that lovely experience that they're used to.
We're still keeping the hand sanitizers at the front of each one we go through.
We bought them last
multiple
year.
ones, areas through that. Everything that's in the queue line, we're gonna we'd like people to social distance, keep their paces. We have stuff that's on there. Absolutely.
That's fantastic. I mean, I love people, don't get me wrong, but I also love a little space too.
and not only for our guests, but for our actors as well.
Absolutely.
Our crew. I mean, the whole crew, not just the actors, the makeup artists, everybody that's there.
Yeah. You want everybody to be safe and have a great time, and I think that's huge.
That was a big thing for us last year, right? Yeah. Is that we have thousands of people coming through with our 100 people. Yeah. We're really exposing them heavier than somebody who goes through 30 minutes and they're gone.
Absolutely.
So that was we the big thing that we got into early on is that we wanted to create a family. Yeah. And we have a family of 100 people that we care about. And that was important. A lot of them were upset that we didn't open. It wasn't good, but it was for them. More than anything.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm sure that they appreciated that, and in the long run, they kind of understand why you guys, made that decision to not open up last year. But I'm thankful that you're back. I know some haunts unfortunately closed, and they're not coming back. So I'm definitely very thankful that you guys were able to come back this year.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to get going again. We worry watching what's going on. That's why we're keeping a lot of our protocols and things in place, amping it up. But we're open.
I'm excited. I know a lot of other people are excited. I know our friends from Haunt Scene are in the chat. They're chiming in. They're excited. I know they're gonna come down to see you guys also.
Like the guys.
So they're
great.
I don't know about them. They're trouble.
I think I'm talking with them next week, actually.
Nice. I love them. Johnny and Melissa and everybody's amazing. They're some fantastic folks. So if you guys are watching tonight, make sure to tune into them and check them out next week along with these fine folks from Enigma Haunt. And just to pop that website up again for you guys who are tuning in, that's going to be enigmahaunt.com. I will link that also down below in the description box on our YouTube page so that when you guys go, and if you're watching this for the first time or giving it another watch, that link is going to be down there. Follow them on social media. Stay up to date on all the information because you guys are not going to want to miss it. Now, I've got a couple more questions. These are some important ones, and I ask these of every guest that I have on because it kind of helps me get to know you as a person, I think. And it it's much more than just, haunts and Halloween, although not much. But I do have to ask you both, what's your favorite horror movie?
So, we don't, and we
just sort of let into
we
that.
definitely, we don't agree, or we agree on this. We're both like this. We don't really, again, we, like you said, we don't get into the gore. We don't get into the slice and dice. And if the movie is just about slaughter and murder and we just don't. That's not us. We get into more of the
Grudge,
the suspense.
Nice.
The Ring,
types.
The Ring,
Yes.
and The Grudge were things.
And
we built.
things,
Remember,
things
we built
like things like the twist, like Sixth Sense.
Yes.
Hide and seek. Just I love those type of things.
More like psychological.
Yes, psychological. Scary is the best. I don't know why it's messed me up in my life.
We built the. We built a well at the home on, remember? And we had.
Oh, we did.
And the daughter coming out like
we had our daughter coming out of the well.
That's fantastic. It's such a good. I love the original, but I also am quite partial to the remake. I love them both, and if nobody has sat down and watched them, I definitely strongly urge that you do so, because there's some fantastic watches, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have a favorite Halloween candy, or candy that you associate with Halloween?
All right, so you got a couple seconds?
I got time. I got as much time as you got. Let's talk candy.
It has nothing to do with the candy, but it's something you associated, which started me in the haunt industry. So what really got me started is when I was a kid, and she knows all this, and everybody does, is that, I don't know, I was 6, and I was dressed up, and I think I was a pirate or some shit. I was, but anyway, I was going down, and I went to this one house, 7 years old, and it was, they called it a haunted house. I had to go through the garage. So I went through the garage, and they had sheets hanging up with holes torn in it. And this one said brains, and I stuck my hand in it. It was, spaghetti. And I went to the next one, and I stuck my hand. It was grapes. And then this one was, and then I came out, and they gave me a boiled hot dog. I ate the boiled hot dog. It was the best hot dog in the world. And I'm like, I get a hot dog. I just touched brains. I'm dressed up. This is the best holiday ever. And we at our home haunt every year would spend thousands of dollars on, we gave everybody that came through the haunt got a free hot dog or a hamburger.
That's awesome.
We grilled them though. It wasn't.
We grilled, we grilled them, and we had it going nonstop, and we'd have hundreds of hot dogs and stuff going. But every year, it's the association. Every year, the people would come back and they go, "Are you doing hot dogs again?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "These are the best hot dogs in the world," and we bought them from like Costco and BJ's. It's the association of the good time and what you had with your friends or the family, and everything combined together said that this was a good night, this was good food, this was that on, and that was my impetus, just continuing to get into. And listening to people say that just made me like, that's exactly what I went through. I had a boiled one, but you got a good char grilled one.
Have you guys thought about bringing the hot dog tradition back?
Yeah, if we didn't have so many people coming through, we would.
That's a lot of hot dogs.
You got the health association.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that opens a whole other can of hot dogs, so to speak. That is definitely the most unique answer I have ever gotten to that question is hot dogs. I mean, I remember getting like apples and popcorn balls or like the random toothbrush or a 50-cent piece or whatever, but I can't say that I've ever gotten a hot dog.
It was that was the 70s, and we did it forever, and all the kids, I mean, we'd go through.
Don't tell everybody how old you are.
Oh.
39, it's fine.
It was good.
Yeah.
It's those 30s. You're looking good for 30s. Oh, that makes me happy. I love that you have that memory. And it's fun too because people always go back to that thing in their childhood that they had, or the experience that they associate with that particular holiday.
I can ask you the same thing, and that's what we always talk about. I said, I want to be in South Florida. You remember your first haunt, right?
Yes, my first haunt in South Florida, yes.
Everybody listening remembers their first haunt. I wanted to be in South Florida where everybody goes 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, when we're gone, that they go, Enigma Haunt. I remember the first haunt I went to, and that was something that I knew would resonate, and I just wanted to do that. Yeah.
You know what? And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people. You know what, though? I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people out there that can say that now. Even today is like, well, what was your first haunt? Well, Enigma Haunt was my first haunt.
Yep.
So, I mean, it doesn't have to be when you guys are gone. It's happening today.
You are right.
Correct.
You are right.
You know? So just to show you guys one more time, because I love pimping the websites and the social medias, because that's basically what life is anymore for most people. That's going to be enigmahaunt.com. Again, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Make sure you guys are following. If you're interested in acting or doing makeup or working with Enigma Haunt, check out their website. They've got a space on there where you can go and fill out some information. And you guys are doing your 2 weeks? You're doing your tryouts?
It's on the 18th.
Saturday. Not this weekend, the following week.
Okay. So make sure that you guys are getting signed up if you want to do that. Thank you guys so much for coming on and for chatting with me and for letting folks kind of get to know you guys and to get to know a little bit more about Enigma Haunt.
Thank you for having us.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you so much.
I appreciate it. And to everybody that's watching, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys all have a fabulous rest of your week. And keep it spooky, boys and girls. Bye.